Hello, welcome to the Wisdom English classes for the students of CBSE class 12. Here we are going to study the second poem of your book Flamingo. The name of the poem is An Elementary School Classroom in a Slum by Stephen Spender. In this section, we will discuss about the poet, the theme and the summary of the poem. So let us start. Stephen Spender, 1909 to 1995, was an English poet and an essayist. He left University College, Oxford, without taking a degree and went to Berlin in 1930. Spender took a keen interest in politics and declared himself to be a socialist and pacifist. Books by Spender include poems of dedication, the age of being, the creative element, the struggle of the modern, and an autobiography, World Within World. In An Elementary School Classroom in a Slum, he has concentrated on themes of social injustice and class inequalities. And now let us discuss the theme of the poem. In this poem, Stephen Spender deals with the theme of social injustice and class inequalities. As we know that in our society there are two worlds. The two types of people are living here. One who have surplus facilities, surplus wealth, surplus money, enjoying all the comforts and luxuries, they are well to do, and the other of the deprived classes, poverty stricken people who are even deprived of basic amenities. So they are the victim of social injustices and in social inequalities and social injustices. So in this poem, Stephen Spender deals with the theme of social injustice and class inequalities. He praises the theme by talking of two different and incompatible worlds. The world of the rich and the civilized has nothing to do with the world of narrow lanes and cramped holes. The gap between these two worlds highlights social disparities and class inequalities. And now summary of the poem. In this poem, the poet focuses on the theme of social injustice and inequalities. He presents the pathetic and miserable picture of the elementary classroom in a slum. These children have pale and lifeless faces, and some are even diseased. They are like rootless weeds which are uncared and unwanted, with their disorderly hair torn around their faces. They are depressed and oppressed with the burdens of life and keep their heads down. They have a stunted growth. One of the girls is apparently burdened with the miseries of poverty. One of the boys has inherited his father's disease and has a stunted growth. Another student is sitting unnoticed and is earning to play outdoors. A sweet young boy is sitting at the back of the dim classroom. He is dreaming of a squirrel's game in the trees and probably other interesting things. The walls are dirty and creamy, and on them are hung the donations given to the school in the form of pictures, paintings, Shakespeare's portrait, and maps which are meaningless for the children. They exhibit the world of the elite and the privileged, while the children in the slum have a future that is sealed and confined to the slum. Their future is dark and limited. The donations on the walls only add to the frustration of the children. They are tempted to attain what would be unattainable for them. The children studying in these schools do not have the means to go and explore the world. For them, what they see through their classroom windows the narrow street, and the lead sky is the world. Shakespeare is wicked for them as he has written only about the rich, beautiful world tempting them to steal. The map is of no interest to them because it does not reflect the world they live in cramped and dark lanes. Their lives start in darkness and ends in utter darkness. They are undernourished and their poverty has distorted their vision as they spend their whole time in foggy slums. The poet feels that the map which shows beautiful and exotic places should be replaced with slums as it is not the world they live in. Unless the governor, inspector, and visitor play a vital role in bringing about a change, their lives will remain in dark. The slum children will be able to peep through the window only when the gap between the two worlds is bridged. They should break the barriers till they come out of the dirty surroundings and their world should be extended into the green fields, golden sands, and bright world. They should have the freedom of expression and their outlook be broadened. Thus, the children in the slum can progress only if they are given good education and the freedom to move into a world of opportunities and progress. The poet also states that history is made only by those people who have the power of knowledge. Hence, educating and letting the children into a free world of opportunities would release them from the suffocating race life in a slum. Thank you.